You enjoyed the last story so much, and I truly appreciate that. Now, I've got another one for you. Let's find out what this story holds. Have you ever wondered what happens when two people from completely different worlds come to live under one roof? Our story today is about Eleanor and Chloe and the complex relationship between a mother, her son Ethan, and his wife. In the beginning, everything was filled with love, but then small habits and differing mindsets started creating big rifts. Will Ethan be able to bridge the growing distance between his mother and his wife? Will this family be able to find happiness once again? This isn't just a story. It's a reality in every home where the tangled knots of relationships are untangled. Stay with us until the end to witness this entire emotional journey, because in this story, you might find answers to many of your questions. The story gently unfolds in a small, serene town where an elderly and traditional mother named Eleanor resided peacefully with her only devoted son, Ethan. Eleanor's entire existence was exceptionally simple and deeply rooted in local traditions, firmly believing that community customs and family bonds were always paramount in life. Ethan, in turn, was equally dedicated and profoundly committed to his loving mother. Then, a new chapter began when Ethan joyfully married Chloe, a bright young woman from a bustling modern city. Chloe was well-educated, possessing very contemporary ideas and a strong desire to embrace her unique identity, personal freedom, and a vibrant urban lifestyle. This significant union itself became the very foundation of the narrative, bringing together two people from strikingly different worlds to share a single roof under unique circumstances. The initial days of their marriage, often fondly referred to as the honeymoon period, were remarkably harmonious and filled with joy. Chloe earnestly tried her absolute best to gracefully adapt to her brand new role as a daughter-in-law. She meticulously decorated their shared home, skillfully prepared many delicious and novel dishes with her culinary talents, and approached Eleanor with immense affection and respect, truly striving to win her heart. During this delightful period, an atmosphere of sheer happiness and profound understanding enveloped their household. Ethan himself was incredibly pleased, feeling immense contentment that his beloved mother and new wife were developing a good, comfortable rapport and that his family now felt wonderfully complete. This was a crucial time when everyone genuinely endeavored to truly understand and warmly accept one another's presence. However, after only a few short weeks, that initial delicate harmony began to fray visibly, and tiny, seemingly insignificant matters started escalating into noticeable problems. Eleanor remained firmly attached to her deeply ingrained old habits and cherished traditional rituals. For instance, she had a long-standing routine of waking up exceptionally early, performing daily prayers with devoutness, and wearing particular types of conventional clothing. Conversely, Chloe embraced a more modern lifestyle, enjoying sleeping in a bit later, wearing clothes of her own choice, and making convenient adjustments around the house according to her preferences. When these two distinct lifestyles inevitably clashed, clear disagreements and subtle tensions began to emerge. Eleanor found Chloe's habits rather strange and unconventional, while Chloe perceived Eleanor's habits as somewhat restrictive and overly controlling. This difference in culinary preferences became the very first major point of contention between them. Eleanor preferred the very traditional, hearty, and comforting home-cooked meals and classic recipes, dishes she had savored for many long years. Chloe, being from the city and more health-conscious, greatly preferred cooking lighter meals with less oil and often experimented with various new, sometimes foreign, cuisines. When Chloe started preparing her preferred dishes in the kitchen or attempted to modify Eleanor's traditional cooking methods, Eleanor strongly felt that her long-held preferences were being disregarded and that her established ways were being intentionally altered. This wasn't merely about food choices. It quickly became a significant issue of perceived control and the forceful imposition of one's preferences over another's. Eleanor had always managed her home in her own precise, customary way, and for her, there was a clearly defined right method for every household chore. Chloe's approach to tasks was quite different, often more relaxed or efficient. Eleanor frequently began to criticize Chloe, sometimes for the clanging noise of the utensils, other times for waking up late, or even for not arranging her clothes in a particular manner. This constant criticism made Chloe feel as though she was perpetually being judged and evaluated. Chloe started feeling that she lacked the freedom to work as she wished and was being forced into the mold of an ideal daughter-in-law. This constant scrutiny felt like a direct infringement on her personal space and her cherished independence. In American society, it's often common for elder family members to play a very significant and influential role in household decisions, especially within extended family structures. Eleanor also felt strongly that her opinion and explicit permission should be sought for every big or small decision made by Ethan and Chloe. Whenever Ethan and Chloe discussed important matters like their future aspirations, career choices, plans for raising children, or even the family budget, Eleanor would invariably offer her strong opinion, often expecting it to be the final word. Chloe, however, perceived this as an unnecessary and intrusive interference in her private life and her newly established household. She felt that their rights as a couple to privacy and autonomous decision-making were simply not being respected. Ethan found himself agonizingly caught in the middle, deeply torn between his loving mother and his new wife. He desperately wanted to avoid upsetting either of them, as he genuinely loved them both and deeply desired peace and harmony within his home. In this difficult situation, he often chose to remain silent, hoping to avoid conflict. However, his silence only served to escalate the problems further. Chloe began to feel that Ethan wasn't supporting her and was passively allowing his mother's perceived unfair behavior. Eleanor, on the other hand, felt that Ethan had changed significantly and was now unduly influenced by Chloe. This profound lack of effective communication led to even greater misunderstandings, causing the resentment and discord to deepen considerably. Soon, minor disagreements became an everyday occurrence, making the atmosphere at home far from pleasant. Instead, it felt constantly tense and heavy, stifling any joy. Chloe frequently withdrew to her room, spending her time alone, browsing social media, or talking to her friends, simply because she felt suffocated and uncomfortable within the house. Eleanor, too, began to feel profoundly lonely, sensing that her importance had diminished and that her son was drifting away from her. Ethan was utterly distressed and deeply unhappy by all this ongoing turmoil. He simply couldn't fathom resolving this difficult situation and silently suffered, feeling trapped and helpless within himself. Finally, Ethan bravely acknowledged the escalating problem, recognizing that things were not all right at home. He sought wise counsel from an old, trusted friend who happened to be a dedicated family counselor. His friend thoughtfully explained that this was quite a common family issue, often faced when two distinct generations with differing views struggle to find harmony and common ground. This insightful advice gave Ethan a much-needed new direction, as he no longer felt isolated and now harbored the genuine hope of finding a workable solution to their problems. Following the counselor's valuable advice, Ethan took the crucial initiative. One evening, he gently brought his mother and Chloe together to sit down. He calmly stated that they were all fundamentally one family and that he felt they were somehow failing to truly understand each other. He expressed his sincere desire for all three of them to openly and honestly share their feelings, complaints, and expectations. This was the pivotal and most important first step, as it created a safe, neutral platform where everyone could express themselves without fear of anger or judgment. It marked the crucial beginning of breaking the pervasive silence and initiating heartfelt dialogue. Following Ethan's earnest initiative, Chloe took her turn to express her emotions clearly. She explained in detail how she truly felt. She openly stated that she perceived her decisions were not respected and that she was constantly being criticized or questioned. What she deeply desired was her freedom and the autonomy to manage her home according to her own choices. Chloe explicitly clarified that while she profoundly respected Eleanor, she also wished to maintain her unique identity and carve out her significant place within her new household. She gently explained that constant interference made her feel suffocated and hindered her ability to do anything of her own free will. After Chloe had spoken, Eleanor then shared her own deeply felt emotions. She candidly admitted that she often felt a profound sense of loneliness. She also expressed that she felt she had grown old and that her words no longer held any weight or were truly heard by anyone. She harbored a persistent fear that she might eventually drift away from her son and daughter-in-law. Eleanor remained deeply attached to her old habits and traditional customs, and she felt that these cherished practices were no longer appreciated by anyone. She explained that she sensed her importance in the household had diminished significantly, and that her life experiences and valuable advice were being overlooked. She openly articulated her feelings of insecurity and vulnerability. Ethan listened with immense patience and deep understanding to both his mother's and his wife's perspectives. He carefully avoided taking sides, instead genuinely attempting to comprehend the unique emotions of both women. He gently explained to them that each of them was, in their way, right in their feelings. Eleanor's vast experience and boundless love held their value, while Chloe's modern outlook and desire for independence held theirs. Ethan assured them both how incredibly important they were to him and expressed his heartfelt wish for them all to live together in happiness and harmony. It was at this crucial point that Ethan truly began to act as a thoughtful mediator, skillfully guiding them towards a constructive resolution. This collaborative approach led to one of the first truly practical solutions they all collectively agreed upon. Chloe thoughtfully suggested that on some days of the week, meals reflecting her preferences, lighter and more modern, would be prepared, while on other days Eleanor's preferred traditional dishes, often richer with comforting flavors, would be cooked. This arrangement successfully honored both their culinary tastes. Furthermore, Eleanor graciously taught Chloe how to prepare several traditional recipes, and in return, Chloe shared some new, healthier culinary ideas with Eleanor. This wasn't merely about food. It became a powerful symbol of mutual acceptance of each other's culture and preferences, fostering greater cooperation and harmony within the kitchen. Ethan and Chloe mutually decided that they would personally make their own individual decisions concerning matters such as their career choices, future plans for raising children, or financial decisions related to their savings and investments. This clearly demonstrated their rightful control over their household affairs. However, they also agreed that they would certainly consult Eleanor for her valuable advice on these matters. This thoughtful approach was designed to make Eleanor feel respected and to ensure she remained an important and integral part of their family, without unduly interfering with their personal decisions. Eleanor, in turn, gradually realized that it wasn't appropriate to interfere in every small matter and learned to place her trust in her children's judgment. Chloe took a wonderful initiative, a step that greatly strengthened their bond. She began going for morning walks with Eleanor. This simple act provided them with dedicated time to talk freely and deeply, strengthening their relationship in a way that wasn't possible before. Ethan also started spending separate, quality time with both his mother and his wife. For instance, he would visit his mother or simply sit and chat with her for a while in the evenings. With Chloe, he would go out for dates or watch movies together. This conscious effort ensured that neither felt lonely or neglected and that everyone received Ethan's full attention and affection. After successfully resolving their significant problems, the most crucial outcome was that they rekindled the profound feeling of love and mutual respect for one another. Chloe wholeheartedly embraced Eleanor as her own mother, finding genuine joy in caring for her. She diligently looked after Eleanor's health and always sought her blessings. Eleanor, in turn, truly accepted Chloe as her daughter, releasing her from old expectations and past grievances. They both came to realize that true love and deep respect are the fundamental cornerstones of any strong relationship. Now, they no longer focused solely on each other's shortcomings. Instead, they began to genuinely appreciate each other's strengths and invaluable contributions to the family. Gradually, the atmosphere in their home became wonderfully cheerful once more. Laughter, open communication, and shared understanding replaced the earlier tension and discord. They now focused not just on solving problems, but also on spending quality time together and truly enjoying life as a cohesive family unit. They collectively realized that adjustment, mutual understanding, and immense patience are paramount in any family dynamic. While challenges inevitably arise in any relationship, if tackled with love, open communication, and unwavering patience, the bond only grows stronger and the family remains wonderfully united. This heartwarming story profoundly teaches us that sustaining meaningful family relationships requires continuous effort and a deep, empathetic understanding of one another.